The other day, my wife Pikun had a tooth event, so she wanted to go see the dentist. She made an appointment with the dentist, and then she thought, hey, why don't you visit the dentist too? You haven't had a checkup or a cleaning in a couple of years. And me being a macho man, I first said no, but then she convinced me, and I said, okay, I'll go get a checkup. Which got me to thinking about health maintenance and how health maintenance in Thailand is a pretty easy thing to do, and it's inexpensive. Let me read from notes that I just took. What is health maintenance? Health maintenance is a healthcare principle that focuses on disease prevention and health promotion rather than managing illness and symptoms. It involves activities that maintain an individual's current health state. That means you're not sick, you don't have anything wrong, but you go get a checkup just to make sure. And why do we do it? Some more notes I took. Why do we do it? A health maintenance plan's purpose is to find and treat medical conditions before they become more expensive and serious. It emphasizes preventive medicine and is an alternative to employee benefit plans. Well, I don't have an employee benefit plan here. I have to pay for it all on my own. But that's the purpose of this video, to show you how inexpensive health maintenance is in Thailand. And in fact, getting a dental checkup is health maintenance. So I went to the dentist and everything is fine. So I'm good for another year or two. We'll discuss the accessibility and the cost of maintaining your health in Thailand. In this video, I'm going to divide health maintenance into three parts. One is getting an annual physical checkup. Two is going to the dentist to get cleaning and regular checkups. And the other is physical therapy and how if you go to a physical therapist and learn how to take care of your body, you're going to be in a lot less pain. Well, let's get started. Why choose Thailand for your health maintenance? Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and even India have developed medical tourism. And Thailand is a medical tourism hub. All of these countries have accredited hospitals, doctors, and nurses, and do a great job. Thailand's costs may be a little better than others, although there are some expensive hospitals in Thailand, especially the ones who cater to the foreigners who are coming from abroad to get treated. But I'm talking about maintenance, and that's a little different. I live here in Thailand, and that's why I chose Thailand. One of the things that keeps Thailand maybe a step above the others is their service. They're noted for service and compassionate treatment of their visitors. And in the hospitals, this really makes a big difference. Every year around my birthday, which is in June, coming up, my wife and I go to Chiang Mai Ram Hospital, to the checkup center. They have a special building just for people who want checkups. We don't eat the night before because we're going to get blood tests. So this is how it goes. We don't need a reservation. We just walk in and tell them we want an annual checkup. Now we've been there every year for the last quite a few years. So they know us and they ask us to take a seat and wait a few minutes. And the first thing we do is we sit with a nurse who has a list of all the things that they have to offer for annual checkups, all the blood tests and other procedures. So what I chose, or what I choose every year just about, is I get a whole battery of blood tests, and I get a chest x-ray just to make sure. I get an EKG, and then an ABI, which is an ankle brachial index, which is something a lot of Westerners don't know about. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's something that helps to determine whether you have any blockages in your circulatory system. They make a list, and the first thing we do is we get our blood tests because we're going to be hungry. It's probably about 8 o'clock or 8:30 by this time. I think they open at 8. So we get our blood tests. That takes a few minutes. And the first thing they do is they give us a little snack because they know we're hungry, and they have sandwiches and coffee and hot chocolate and tea. And so we sit down for that. And we're called in to meet with our doctor. We have a doctor that we see every year, and he's always there. And he knows our history because it's all in computer. And he checks our history and asks us if we have any problems we want to discuss with him. And if we do, we can talk about it. We have a pain here or there or something. And he says, okay, go on back and you'll do the rest of the tests. They'll give me my EKG at this time, and at the same time, or right after, they give me the ankle brachial index, which is a similar thing. They put wraps around your wrists and your ankles, and they push them close, and a computer will determine whether there are any blockages. And then I go upstairs for a chest x-ray. We've been there since about 8:30, and this is about 10 o'clock, and we're basically finished. They tell us, come back at 1 o'clock, we'll have all the results of your blood test by then. Yeah. So we go to lunch. We have a nice lunch out, and by 1 o'clock we're back, and the doctor calls us in again, and he gives us the results of our tests, our blood tests, and the chest x-ray, and the EKG, and the ankle brachial index. That's for me. Pequin gets some other things done. And he looks at the results. If there are any questions, like if maybe the blood sugar is high or the cholesterol is high, he might talk to us about that and recommend some things for us to do. So far, my blood tests have come out pretty good, so I'm okay. I also get the PSA test, which is for older men, and that turns out to be okay too. And that's it for the test. By 1 o'clock, we're out of there. And the cost for me was about 3,500 baht. The cost for Pequin was a little higher because she had a couple of extra tests that I had. The average cost of a medical checkup in the United States is over $2,000. Mine was, if we look at the exchange rate for today, was just about $100. And they give me a nice little booklet, and it will have the results of everything that was done. In fact, if we wanted to bring it to another doctor, or we move and we're somewhere else, we have all our latest results in this booklet that they give us, with all the recommendations that they have for us. And that's it for our physical checkup. I'll see you next year. Most hospitals will have price lists, especially for surgery and more complicated things. When it comes to health maintenance, a lot of them have packages depending on your age. Or you can do it a la carte, like I do. Many hospitals will give older patients, older than 60, a 10% or 20% discount. Dental maintenance usually consists of a checkup, curettage, or that's a fancy word for the scraping of plaque off your teeth, and a polishing. Let me refer to some of my notes here. The average cost of this procedure in the US is between $80 and $120. I just spent 600 baht, which is $17. Most dental offices will offer you a price list if you ask them, and you can find a lot of information on Google by prices. They don't hide the prices. Well, the prices are pretty low, so they don't really need to hide them. I did some interesting comparisons here, so let me take a look here. Simple fillings in the US, depending on the type of filling material, the amalgam or a porcelain, is between $150 and $1,100. The average cost in Thailand is $40. The average cost of a root canal in the US is about $1,100, depending. It can be a lot more than that. And in Thailand, it's about $150. That reminds me of a story that happened to me. I had a friend in the United States, and she needed a root canal. And she asked me whether it would be worth it to come to Thailand and do the root canal here because the prices were so much lower. So I thought about it and I said, you know, if you fly here and do a root canal at a really good dentist here, then you can go down south and sit on the beach for about a week. And flying back, you probably still have a little money left over than if you had gotten the root canal in America. And then I thought about this. I said, you know, if you had 2 root canals to do, then you could do the whole trip, fly first class, and stay at a 5-star hotel down on the beach and still save money. And that's true. You could do the numbers. So maintaining good dental health in Thailand is quite easy and inexpensive. When we think of physical therapy, we're usually not thinking about health maintenance, mainly because we're going to a physical therapist for a specific reason, maybe some pain or inability to move like you used to. But I'm not going to be talking about the physical therapy. I'm going to be talking about after you see your physical therapist. I'll give you my story and show you what I mean. I had a problem with my shoulder. I was having a lot of pain in my shoulder, and in fact, I wasn't able to lift it beyond about like this, you know. And people at my age, a lot of people my age have similar problems. In my case, I was diagnosed with impingement syndrome. I'll put a little picture there to show you what that means. Usually when you get a little older, the bones over here in your shoulder come a little closer together, and there's a little tunnel where the veins and the tendons go through, and they get kind of stuck there. And this is why it becomes a little difficult to do these things. So I went to the physical therapist. Just about every good hospital will have physical therapists, and I went to a clinic, a physical therapist clinic, and the therapist gave me a whole bunch of things included in the treatment. The first thing was massage. Did a lot of massage on this area, right? Get it all loosened up. And then he did some heat massage with a ball of Thai herbs, very aromatic herbs, and he would press that on this area for a long time. Yeah. That took about maybe 45 minutes for those 2 procedures. And then we started talking about what I'd need to do to get my shoulder back to normal. And he gave me a number of exercises to do. And he showed me how to do them. Just to give you an example, after the treatment, I was able to lift the shoulder a little higher. But now, as you can see, I have complete movement in the shoulder. And there's a little pain because he hasn't cured the impingement syndrome. What he's done is he showed me a way to maintain my health by doing certain exercises. And a good physical therapist will, number 1, treat you for the problem that you have, maybe alleviate some of your pain, and then show you how to treat it yourself. And that's where the maintenance comes in. Now, the doctor at the hospital, he wasn't a physical therapist. He gave me drugs. He gave me ibuprofen and some anti-inflammatories and painkillers. And, you know, it cured the pain. It didn't cure my problem. But the physical therapist did solve my problem. The pain is still there, very little now, not as much as before. But the movement is all back to normal. And this is good for shoulders or for your back or for your knees or your ankles. And that's where the maintenance comes in. I do these exercises every morning right after I wake up. They probably take about 3 minutes to do, maybe 2 minutes to do. And for the rest of the day, I'm pain-free and I have complete mobility. So my suggestion is, if you have any of these problems, go see a physical therapist, and he will show you how to treat it yourself. The treatment at my physical therapist costs 400 baht, or more like $12. And I've been pain-free ever since. Just to wrap up, a lot of us living here in Thailand are of the older variety. We've been around a while, and things start to break down. That's why maintaining your health is really important. Treatment, of course, is important too, but once you're treated and you're taking care of some of these problems, maintaining your health as long as you can is really a good idea. And since it's so convenient and so inexpensive, that's a good thing to do here in Thailand. Now, a lot of us maybe have some health insurance. In America, I have Medicare. Medicare doesn't pay for anything when you're living abroad, so I have to take care of all this myself. But that's not a problem because the cost is quite inexpensive. Now, if you have insurance, hospitals will take your insurance, and you can deal with it that way. So here's wishing good health to everybody, and thanks for watching.